Good afternoon. Beautiful day on Long Island, paradise on the ocean. I want to welcome everyone here today to Hempstead Lake State Park here in beautiful Nassau County on Long Island. Long Island is the birthplace of New York State Parks in many ways. It's great for us to see so many partners celebrating this great new facility that you're all enjoying this afternoon. I'm pleased that we are joined by members of our Long Island State Park Commission. Also, I want to thank our state park staff for helping us today. And then we have a number of great contractors. A project always goes better when you have great contractors. And our construction team, our construction managers at Elite, Fortunato Construction, project designers at H2M, consulting firms of Stantec, LKB, and Cashin, plus our concept design for the exhibits. I hope you'll enjoy are from MOE. Representatives from all of them today. Thank you very much for your great work on this project. For this particular project, we are very grateful for our partnership with the Living with the Bay initiative. This actually comes out of the Governor's Office of Storm Recovery under the Housing and Community Renewal Commissioner, Ruth Ann Wisnauskas. I was here with us today, and you'll hear from her a little bit later. And then I get the great honor of recognizing the electeds who are here with us today. I want to recognize, obviously, you'll hear from County Executive Laura Curran, and you'll hear from Adrian Esposito from Citizens Campaign for the Environment, and Ruth Ann, my fellow commissioner. We're also here, want to recognize Senator Kaminsky, great friend. I think his district starts right at that shoreline. Senator Gorin here today, nice to see you. Assembly Member Judy Griffin, nice to see you. Taylor Darling, who I just met earlier, Assemblywoman Taylor Darling. Assembly Member Gina Saliti, there we go. Assembly Member Kimberly Jean-Pierre. Assembly Member Steve Engelbright, my old friend. Mayor Waylon Hobbs from the Village of Hempstead, nice to see you. Matt Cohen, President and CEO of the Long Island Association, in the back. Hi, Matt, nice to see you. And Maddie Arasich, President of the Building and Construction Trades Council of Nassau and Suffolk Counties. Thank you for coming out today. This was a union job. I'm very happy to have had the unions in here as we did this. So I think that's the dignitaries. For me, I just want to say, I think this is the first time I have the honor of introducing Governor Kathy Hochul. And what you don't know, maybe, is that Governor Hochul is an expert on our state parks like no governor before her. She stays in our parks. She comes to our parks. I think her favorite park might be Niagara Falls in her backyard. She is, and I love that fact. She relates Ida to Niagara Falls because that's one of our great parks. I think, but it really is. It's no understatement. She comes into office knowing our state park system better than any governor in the history of the state, and that's just remarkable. And we're so excited to be working with her going forward. And then I'm proud here to be part of. We're a small part, but to be part here of the state's recognition of Climate Week. And I think we're going to hear about this. And with really no further ado, let me welcome Governor Kathy Hochul of the great state of New York.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you, Commissioner. Yes, we've probably had more fun than anybody would ever expect people in government would have. We get a chance to go explore the most magnificent jewels of our system, and certainly Long Island has its share of magnificent state parks, including the one we're in today. But I want to thank you for your stewardship of our parks. It's not what we're doing today, but what we're doing for future generations that'll be remembered. And we have done an amazing job, but much, much more to do. And thank you to Ruth Ann Wisnauskas, another fabulous commissioner who is normally associated with building amazing affordable housing and projects all over our state. But then she also has this seems like a little special designation to be handling the Office of Storm Recovery, but when you have hurricanes like Sandy, you're going to be busy for a long time, and so she and her team have done an amazing job. I want to thank them for all they've done. Always great to be with our county executive, Laura Curran. She's been a dear friend. We are frequent guests at all the diners no one can touch Long Island diners. I just want to say we are regulars, but it's been great to see just the work that she has done on behalf of the residents. She really took this county by storm when she was first elected. She has transformed government. She's restored people's faith in government, which is no small task. Something I'm going to follow in your footsteps and do, county executive. And from one first to the other first, the first female county executive of this great county, I want to thank her for her great partnership and friendship as well. Adrienne Esposito, we've worked together for a long time. And she is so passionate about her causes, and that has resulted in the preservation of beautiful places on Long Island to make sure that we don't continue what historically had been man's assault on Mother Nature out here. And I'm sorry about the men, but that's just how it goes. But so thank you, Adrienne, for everything you've done to protect our environment. And to all of our elected officials who's been named, I consider you my friends. We've been on a lot of journeys together, and your voices, not just here, but in our state capitol, are loud. We know that you are champions for your districts and the people you represent, and it's just a privilege to work with our assembly members and senators who are recognized here today, as well as our local government officials, who I never want to forget either. So thank you, mayors, for being here as well. I just have a few remarks. Happy Climate Week. It is Climate Week. Let's have a round of applause for Climate Week. I am celebrating Climate Week like no other. I'm here on this beautiful space. I was on the rooftop of the Javits Center, which is one of the largest urban farms in America, on a green roof, and just incredible what they've done there. And I'll be up in the North Country, Adirondacks, tomorrow, making more announcements there. And I was in Niagara Falls yesterday, now that I think about it, at one of the largest, the facility that generates 25% of the power for the state, the Niagara Power Authority. So I'm taking advantage of this. Get on the road. I'm tired of sitting in the office for the last month, so I'm getting out there on the road. But this is the place I wanted to come. And you know how I feel about Long Island. I treasure this place. The people are just incredible, and the diversity of the people, the places, the parks. It's spectacular. And those of you who take for granted, perhaps, what you have here, I tell you not to. Go elsewhere and also listen to what people say when they do come here and when they make their first impression. So you think about all the economic development that's going on here, the Nassau hub, what we've done in Baldwin, working with our DRI, and a lot of the economic development, restoring our downtowns, bringing them back. Our sports team, let's go Islanders, let's keep it going. Let's go. We're excited about a new season there, a new season for the Islanders in a new venue. It's going to be great. And also, the way you protect your natural resources, you take this seriously. You make sure that we're doing everything in our power to protect the natural beauty of this magnificent part of our state. So climate change is something we all take seriously here. You don't have to get through a hurricane, Sandy, a number of years ago, 9 years ago, I think, but even just for Hurricane Henri, I was literally on Long Island, and we were told it was going to have the same effect as Sandy. I was on Long Island beaches telling people, go home, don't be out here, this is dangerous. Literally, I think it was maybe the 22nd or so of August. And we got that hit, but then literally days later, we got walloped with Ida. And I was at the Great Neck Station to see the ravages of that storm and what it did to the Long Island Railroad, and see how people's lives were so disruptive, and the damage was just incredible from Long Island all the way through Queens, where I just saw the places where people literally were drowned in their own homes. It was just a real eye-opening experience that we still are vulnerable to climate change, and we have to act with that sense of urgency that I do now, that we could have another hurricane every 10 days now instead of every 100 years or 500 years. I mean, people told us it was a 500-year rain event that we experienced a few weeks ago, and we broke that record, almost doubled it within 10 days. So I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just saying it is real. It is real. And I am so proud that our state is taking major, major steps to build our resiliency. And that's something we know all about. And I'm really proud that the areas that were built back after Sandy were the ones that were able to withstand the forces of this hurricane. We got that test. We were tested, and we passed that test with flying colors. But also point out the places that remain vulnerable, the places that did not have that resiliency built into it. So what we did with Sandy, and most of you know this, we spent $1.2 billion to directly help 10,000 homeowners and also to build resiliency. $239 million for 100 community reconstruction projects. I was with a lot of you in Valley Stream when we completed a storm protection project to help South Shore homes there. We worked on the historic Bay Park conveyance project. Last April, we broke ground on that to redirect treated wastewater from the plant in East Rockaway and help the Western Shore. And as we said, we've invested a lot of money in our parks, like Jones Beach and Robert Moses, and here as well. And we also completed the final 10-mile stretch of the Ocean Parkway Coastal Greenway, which I've ridden on. It's kind of windy and cold that day, but it didn't matter to me. I'm from Buffalo, I can handle it. And also, we're leading the nation in our offshore wind generation, and we're starting that project, and I'm very excited about that. And we'll have be able to help achieve our 70% zero-emission electricity by 2030 and 100% zero-emission electricity by 2040. So this is good for the environment, but I love the jobs that are coming out of our green energy future. And for us to be able to realize now there's a lot of young people in marginalized communities who don't think they have an opportunity to lift themselves out of their circumstances. And if we can connect them, Maddie, we talk about this, how we connect them to the training and the skills for the jobs that are going to be just waiting to be filled. That is how we solve a lot of societal problems, but also take care of the needs of the future and protecting our environment. So today, on day 4 of Climate Week, we're just getting warmed up here, I'm very happy to announce the opening of this $8.3 million Environmental Education and Resiliency Center. You are here to witness this. It's day 1 of this center. What an extraordinary accomplishment. 8,000 square feet, so people can come here and learn hands-on about resiliency and the effect of climate change and Mother Nature and what we have to do to protect our planet. And I think it's going to be great for kids to come here, students, young people, to really just understand why we're fighting so hard for them and for their future. It's an incredible resource. Over 400,000 people already come here every year. I think this is going to increase the numbers even more when people want to come and see what this is all about. And also there's going to be space for environmental education, nonprofit organizations, educational institutions. The Nassau County Law Enforcement Explorer Program is going to be operating out of here to use the Center for Community Outreach and combating gang violence and positively engaging young people as well. So this is also going to be a command post for our responses. Hopefully there aren't too many more, but our local disaster response can be coordinated right from here. So this is all part of our $35 million park-wide project from the Office of Storm Recovery to increase resiliency, including reducing flood risk and improving water quality and habitat restoration. And we do want to thank the Department of Housing and Urban Renewal for the partnership there. So as I said, we're not just going to wait around for the next storm. We're taking action. I made some announcements about football today. I had some of the Giants and Jets with me as we talked about a plan to be able to get more people vaccinated. So just so you know, I'd rather play offense than defense, okay? I want to go on offense. I don't want to just keep defending and cleaning up the mess afterward. Let's go on offense and let people know that this is how we're going to play this game, is that we're taking climate change very seriously. We have a responsibility not just to protect our current homeowners and our businesses and our transportation centers. We also have to protect this planet for the future. And I hope all of you feel that incredible sense of urgency that I do on my shoulders right now, that we can wait no longer. And our children's children someday will appreciate and look back and say, I'm so glad that they figured it all out before we had to deal with what they were dealing with, all those ravages of storms and unprecedented climate events. We can stop that from happening with the power we have right here on Long Island, in places like this in Hempstead, and buildings like this. And you, my friends, were all part of this great story. I thank you for being here today. And with that, I want to introduce our great, amazing, superstar county executive, Laura Curran.
Thank you very much, Governor Kathy Hochul. It has a nice ring to it. I just want to say on a personal note, I really appreciate you, Governor, for reaching out to me personally during the pandemic. The governor, well, then Lieutenant Governor, now Governor Hochul, would just call me randomly to find out how our businesses were doing, how our small businesses were doing, how our downtowns were faring. And I really appreciate that. Governor Hochul has a real commitment to our business community, to our chambers, and to our downtowns, and is very focused on downtown revitalization. And I'm very grateful for the outreach and for, you genuinely caring about something that's very important to our residents here in the county. So I thank you. And when we talk about resilient, walkable downtowns, transit-oriented development, small business, et cetera, that's very good for the environment. It reduces the carbon footprint, it reduces the reliance on cars, and as we know, we are a car culture here on Long Island, so it takes some finessing to persuade people to perhaps ditch the car, take the bike, take a walk, take the bus, whatever it may be. And so it is day 4 of Climate Week, as the governor said. And people can argue about whether climate change is real or not real, but I can tell you the climate is changing on Long Island. I was just up in Manor Haven with Assemblywoman Saliti, where there were mudslides. That doesn't happen in Nassau County. We met a man named Michael whose basement was encased with mud, just came down the hill right into his basement. We saw you in Mini Niagara at Great Neck. Literally unprecedented amount of rainfall. It was 4 inches in 1 hour, 3 inches in 1 hour, but that's more than has ever been recorded in 1 hour since we started keeping records in 1941. So what can we do? What can we do to mitigate this? Senator Kaminsky suggested very wisely that Nassau County sign on to New York State's Climate Smart Communities with its ambitious goals for solar, for EV charging, for looking at our fleet that we have in Nassau County. So we're getting going on that. And we have a very strong partnership with New York State, which is incredibly important. Cleaning out the Western Bays, the Bay Park Conveyance Project, good labor, union labor job opportunities with wind solar and other green jobs that we're very bullish. And we want to get these jobs here in Nassau County. And also improvements right here that are ongoing, a years-long project that's set to end by the end of next year right here at Hempstead Lake Park. This park I love. I don't live very far. I ride my bike. I ride around the lake. It's just a gorgeous place. And it's right in the nexus of so many different communities all around. And I know that people from all over here use this. And I think it's great that this center is right here in this very strategic location to inform, to educate, to get the community engaged, to get the community to come together. And it's also the place where our explorers will be. And we have some right here. And we want to make sure that we're drawing from the communities around here, Hempstead, Rockville Center, Baldwin. We're seeing our Explorers program really taking off. It's majority minority, young people, getting them involved with the law enforcement world. It's a great thing, great way to increase diversity in our police department, which is something that we're striving to do. So this place does many things. And I'm really happy that we're all here for the very first day. I'm looking forward to coming back, and I'm looking forward to seeing much more of you, Governor. Thank you very much. And it is my pleasure to now introduce the Executive Director of the Citizen Campaigns for the Environment. She is no stranger to anyone in this room, Adrienne Esposito.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Climate Week. We're celebrating Climate Week, but I'm living for a day where we don't have to recognize Climate Week because we've won the battle. And that battle is only going to be won with political leadership like Governor Hochul is showing us in her first 9 months of work here as governor in the great state of New York. So thank you very much, Governor. It's appreciated and needed. We love Hempstead Park. Hempstead Park is over 500 acres. It attracts bird lovers. It attracts bikers, equestrians, runners, families who come here just to picnic, nature lovers who come here to be in nature. And as the county executive said, there's a diversity of constituents who love this park. So preserving it and protecting it and restoring it is utmost of importance to Nassau County residents. Look, there's two things Long Island needs in order to be a sustainable island: clean water and resilience against climate change impacts. This project accomplishes both of those goals. It's not only about building this beautiful educational center that will be well used and well attended, but there's other aspects to this project. Shoring up and restoring the Mill River, which is a major freshwater tributary into the western bays of the South Shore Estuary. The western bays are a gorgeous embayment that are degrading and degraded, but we've been working to bring them back for a decade, and getting to the significant tributaries will help us do that. They will also be removing the plastics and the floatables from the Mill River before they get a chance to dump into the western bays. All those plastic cups, those plastic bottles, the styrofoam, which will be banned in January. We're very excited about that. But they go somewhere. When something goes away, where is away? Unfortunately, many times on Long Island, it's in our marine environment. So this project will be capturing those floatables before it goes away into the bay. The other thing that it does is that it also shores up the dams and impoundment structures, something we critically need in this park because we want to prevent flooding and prevent additional infrastructure damage because of climate change, rains, and storms. So this project has it all. It's an example of a good sustainability project here on Long Island in a park that we love and that we want to last us for future generations. So thank you to the Parks Department, to the County Executive, to the great elected officials sitting in front of me, and most of all to our new governor in New York State. We're thrilled for the future. We look forward to the partnership. We have a lot of work to do, and I know we can do it together. Thank you. And last but absolutely not least, I'd like to introduce Commissioner Ruth Ann Wisnauskas.
Gonna have to up my energy game to follow you. That was good. Good afternoon. It is really my honor to be able to join everyone for the opening of this really incredibly beautiful education center. It's really wonderful for me to be able to spend some time with Governor Hochul, with the county executive, with my partner in crime, Commissioner Kulisade, and I'm just really delighted to be here. I would give a quick shout out to Paul Lazito from my team who is here. As the governor had said, you all may wonder why is the housing commissioner talking at an event that seemed to be about parks and environmental centers, but I have the pleasure of overseeing the governor's Office of Storm Recovery, which, as you all will recall quite well, helped over 10,000 people in the wake of Superstorm Sandy and ultimately distributed a little over $1 billion to all those households from the feds in order to fix everyone's home that suffered so much destruction in the wake of that storm. But as we are here today, you can see that we also have the pleasure of overseeing hundreds and hundreds of local housing and infrastructure and resiliency projects, big and small, and they have really made transformative impacts on communities across the state. And due to the continued weather events that we have, I think it's fair to say that they are proving more valuable to communities than we ever thought they would at the outset of that process. And today's announcement is one of the first of many in what are these carefully planned and community-inspired resiliency projects that are part of, as was mentioned, the Living with the Bay overall umbrella, which was funded by HUD through the Rebuild by Design program. And we are delighted to be able to administer many of those projects. The Living with the Bay plan was really designed to make living in the Middle Basin safer, creating flood defenses, restoring wetlands, waterways, improving access and egress, and instituting urban design features that can really save lives and save property. As is evident sort of in this building, this state-of-the-art facility is also an investment in being able to provide a command center should there be additional needs for disaster response. And really, we like to see it as an investment in the community, in the neighborhood, for safety, to promote personal awareness, and also resilience. We really look forward to continuing coming to more ribbon cuttings for the Living with the Bay projects. There are many more that will come in the months to come, so I look forward to being back out here on the island to celebrate those. Thanks so much.
so that concludes our program. Thank you. I hope you'll all come back and enjoy this building. It's really a fabulous set of exhibits. But right now, I think we're going to adjourn and do a ribbon cutting, and hope the governor will join us to do that. Here come the big scissors.
Start to slide back in.
I'm gonna stand right here at the podium.
Nobody's looking at the podium anymore, though.
I'm gonna come on the other side.